morning. So today I am the most excited that I have ever been because today I'm going to be talking about the movie The Last Showgirl, which is a 2024 movie starring Pamela Anderson as Shelly, a Las Vegas showgirl who learns that her show is closing and she now kind of has to figure out what to do with her life because she's been a part of this show for 30 years. So first things first, I have been excited about this movie since day one. I remember reading the one sentence plot description, finding out it had Pamela Anderson and was directed by Gia Coppola, and I just instantly knew I would fall in love with it. I just knew it, and I was right. So first things first, I want to talk about the visuals. This movie is absolutely gorgeous. The costumes are incredible. Some of the pieces are archival Bob Mackie pieces that were also used in Jubilee, which was the actual last Las Vegas Showgirl show that closed in, I believe, 2016, I want to say. This movie also has these really dreamy shots of Shelly standing under the bright lights of Las Vegas, but then you also get them kind of juxtaposed with these open lots across the street from gas stations. And even though these shots are so different, they both somehow manage to be very beautiful and contemplative, which is something that I think Gia Coppola does really well at. Because I remember seeing these types of shots in Palo Alto, which is another movie that I've talked about, and I liked them in that too. So I think Pamela Anderson in this is absolutely incredible. I feel as though she was snubbed for an Oscar nomination. It really feels like this role was written for her. She just did so perfect. So now I kind of want to talk about this movie and how it kind of relates to feminine emotions. So I think that a lot of times we hold movies, kind of like female rage movies, in high regard. And we should, absolutely. Movies like Jennifer's Body, movies like Gone Girl, because those movies manage to make us feel like our anger's being satisfied. We end up being able to watch the things that we want to do get played out on a screen. We get to kind of watch our fantasies, and I think that's why we like movies like that. Now, this movie is a little bit different. This movie is, in my opinion, a little bit more realistic, and I think it touches emotions that we don't necessarily watch all the time when it comes to movies. When it comes to women-centered movies, I suppose you could say. This movie's not giving us female rage. It's not. It's giving us heartbreak and sorrow and grief. And like I said, it's something a little bit quieter. It's not giving us that sort of tasty revenge anger. We do get to feel a little bit of Shelly's anger in this movie, but it's not the same thing and we're not really satisfied by it. But it's something that I think feels so real. I think it's something that every woman has maybe felt at one point in time. I found myself constantly crying watching this movie just because of how much I related to certain moments when I got to watch Shelly kind of go through her grief at the show being closed. The scene for me that really stuck out is she's walking down the hallway getting ready to go on stage and she accidentally rips the wing of her costume on the door handle and she just sits down and cries and just stays there. And that instantly made me cry because there have been so many instances in my life where I have just been so stressed out and just one thing happens, that one thread snaps and I just end up being so defeated. And so to watch that play out on the screen, something that I have felt before so many times, felt really incredible to me to kind of experience that. And I kind of felt like I wasn't alone in that. I didn't feel like I was crazy. Another scene that absolutely destroyed me is when she's in the dressing room and she's crying and pulling down these costumes in this big fit of emotion. That was another moment where I felt it. I was like, this is something that I have experienced. And so getting to see that on a screen just felt so validating. It just felt a little bit more personal. And I think this movie does a really good job at giving you a lot of emotions that we feel as women. And it does a good job at reminding you of that. It's sweet and sad all at the same time. And I think that part's really cool because this movie really does a good job at kind of detailing loss because Shelly has lost something of herself when the show closes. I think I found that note in the film to be something really incredible because it's this thing that no one can really understand. No one really understands why she's so attached to the show, but to her, the show is her whole life's work and her whole life's meaning. And sometimes things like that can't really be explained. They're just this personal aspect of you that is for you and you alone. And so when she loses the show, she ends up losing herself too. And she has to come to terms with the fact that without the show, she doesn't really know who she is. So all in all, I thought this movie was so beautiful. It was better than I thought it would be, and I already knew it was going to be incredible. 10 out of 10. Please watch it. Give yourself a moment to kind of sit with these emotions because it does touch you emotionally in a way that's a little different, I feel, than other movies. And I am so glad that I took the time to sit through it and cry through it because I felt validated at the end of it.